Oh crap. Oh, hello there, people. Again, I try my best to sleep, but running thoughts in my mind. Am I such a sleepyhead or just plain lazy? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get on with part two of the show. And kids, it's gonna be fun. Alright, where were we? Yeah.
We were talking about G.I. Joe and Transformers. Let's start from there.
Okay, now, G.I. Joe Transformers. Transformers, part din ng kabataan namin. At saka,
Uh, yes. Hello, Otto. It's been a while.
it's not that otter, damn it, that's a stupid marmot. No, and you beat me, remember you're in probation.
Damn,
Bro,
I can't punch through the
probation.
screen. Must punch harder. Ah.
Be thankful I never went to prison because if I find you, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble, bald boy. Try to hit me
Actually,
again, you stupid kangaroo. Probation! Yeah, probation.
kangaroo
Shut the
meat
fuck
is
up, all
quite
of you!
lovely here.
Fuck the
We
probation!
would
Fuck
love.
everything! When I'm reaching my breaking point, all of you are dead meat! Ingrate.
Yes, kangaroo meat is quite delicious, Mayor. I wish he was here. We would have loved to grill him. I bought a griller. I can actually grill him.
Murphy here,
You're
Murphy
doing
the
fine,
Marmot.
Otto.
I'm not Otto, I'm Murphy the Marmot. I'm not Jerry the
Oh
Grandma. What's up
yeah.
for following
Sorry.
here? I'm a marmot. Don't forget this one.
I'm glad you identify
I will.
yourself as Mormont now. Anyway, welcome to part two, and again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Norm's Balls, from the gutter to the stars. Norm's Balls, oh baby, Norm's Balls, from the gutter to the stars. Anyway, so how are you guys doing right now?
Oh shit!
We were talking about G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah, yo, Joe, motherfuckers.
So, do you like Flint more or Duke? Or are you more of a General Hawk or a Sergeant Slaughter?
Well, I like Flint, but Sergeant Slaughter's the best. Because you know how to put those guys into shape when needed. During Arise, Serpent, or 5-story arc like that.
Serpentor!
Yes,
Yes.
that I command. But I like Cobra Commander who whines and complains whatsoever. I don't know why who's even genius. Him or Destro. But Baroness is quite something else. Parang medyo mo naguging... Ginawa yung appearance ni Baroness parang gugurang eh.
Looks old in
Yes,
cartoons.
yes, Cobra Commander. Si ano,
What are you
Destro.
doing there, Destro? Help me escape!
Galing,
I can't do the
okay,
voice.
almost.
Almost. Nice.
What do you think of the voice of Baroness?
He sounds like Unga Bunga Tunka Tinka from Zoolander. You know,
Whatever.
they
Alright.
sound like they have to. Why do they have to make it sound like so Russian and so foreign and so evil? Right?
Okay. Okay, now let's get on to it. So,
Starscream, baby. Yeah, I like Starscream.
yeah,
But
the same
I
actor
saw
played
him when he was
Starscream
a
and
ghost.
Cobra
Yeah.
Commander, yeah, whatsoever. And then let's get on to the
Megatron, is that you? Actually, they have the same voice. Here's a hint. Transforms and blasts him to his death.
Yeah, that's from Transformers the movie way back in the mid 80s, I
Yes,
guess. Now let's get on with the
that is
whole
true.
PWR thing. So, yes, from your 2014 up to 2015, what do you think of PWR the way they represent during its infancy?
I loved it. It felt like I was part of the community. I got to talk to the young boys. I got to take any shot I want, which is kind of like the Wild Wild West. So imagine when you were watching the MCS days, there were a lot of people with their cameras, like I mentioned, right? So there's a
Yes,
good spot. I
I
go
kind of.
there, and then a couple of them will chase to me, like, what the I'll click there. And so when they're on one side, I sneak into the other edge of the ring outside of the apron to get my angle. So when I get there, I get a shot. Some of them will still go there. What the hell? It was pretty wild
Hey,
to be a media guy there,
I want to
to be
ask you a
honest.
question. What do you think of the Queen of the Royal Flush at the time, Scarlet? She's as tall as I
Well,
am, right?
did you have a picture with her?
Bingo.
so you'd know how tall she is.
She's almost 5.
Okay,
But
so
she's still
wait, so that
beautiful, even though she's no longer affiliated with
wait,
any local wrestling team
she's
in their
just
city.
5 feet? Dude, you're
Five,
taller than 5 feet.
5'4", five
Okay,
four.
there. I was saying, what? You're not 5 flat. You're taller than Trian. He's 5. Yeah. What? What? What?
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
thoughts. I didn't have much interaction with her. I had more interaction with Crystal, especially in the I Academy days, because she was the announcer. Because usually,
Mm.
what I asked to the announcer, like Potts during MCS and his days as announcer, hey, who's this guy? Hey, how you spell this guy's name? Jimmy Arellano? No, Aureliana. Aureliana? What? Can you write it here, Potts? That thing. Because
I
when you have to
remember
write and
Jimmy
take
way back
pictures,
before he became what we like the
idol.
most. Yes, si Idol. Sa Idol na payatutin hanggang ngayon pero nakasurvive sa paggugulpi na kahit sino man sa kanya para
Yes.
lang lumaban sa susunod na araw whatsoever for all I care.
So you saw his first two matches, one with Nintendo and one with Mark Di Manalo.
Oh, yes, 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 I still recall that one,
Ah,
baby.
I like the second match when he was trying to use the shoe, but the referee kept
Okay,
stopping him.
let's begin from your first foray into PWR, from PW Renaissance up until the
Okay.
2015 Renaissance.
I
Mayhem
mentioned to
Brannigan.
you. I mentioned to you that, right? Josie Jam. It was
Yeah, you already
Borman who
mentioned now. We're
invited
talking
me.
about double,
Okay.
no, CMB, si Mayhem Brannigan. So, I like,
Want me to mention who invited me to Renaissance? You'd be surprised.
not him,
Nope.
not the man behind
Nope.
the CBL character. Mayhem Brannigan,
No, because nope, because
Korean.
before it was the man behind JDL who would email us starting 2015. It was a certain someone who is now in Manila Wrestling Federation.
Si Kanto Terror.
His, nope, Tarek. Tarek emailed us to invite us to cover
Oh, yes,
PWR
yes,
Renaissance
yes.
2014.
Tarek, yeah.
And
Good
he
old
was the
Tarek.
guy in Renaissance who was escorting Canto Terror towards the ring in the Canto Chaos Classic as well.
Yes.
See, you didn't expect that, didn't you?
I was remember my first show will be PWR
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
The rest is
So the
history.
guy who invited me to cover that was Eric. But even though they wouldn't invite me, I'd be watching anyway.
Mhm.
So that was fun. My
Okay,
favorite match in the first show was the Canto Chaos Classic featuring Canto Terror versus Epitaph, wherever he is these days. I don't know what happened to him after the first show, versus D. Nelson Jr. And it was fun because he was his character was he was a basketball player. He had the Harlem Globetrotters theme song playing during his entrance. He was dribbling with a basketball inside
loko,
FCS.
loko. Okay,
Seryoso to, you should have
ay,
been here. I mean, I wish you saw this
okay.
with your very eyes. And then there was this one spot he had counter in the middle of the ring in a chin lock. And what were we chanting? We were chanting we were chanting defense, defense, defense. It was so crazy, man.
All right,
I
now
love
let's
that
get on
match.
with okay. What for the first 5 shows that you watch?
Six shows.
Renaissance 2014 up to 2015. Mayhem Brannigan. Any comment about his in-ring character, the gimmick?
The gimmick was cool, but uh, don't watch his matches. I mean, even with the Panzer match, it was the worst Panzer match you'd ever have with Panzer, and he was so good. It was like that match. Just I want to forget about that match.
So you got a problem with the Mayhem Brannigan character as a whole?
The character I like, the matches, and
Not
I'm
much.
not being smarky about it. I'm trying to enjoy it, but imagine you're trying to lengthen or trying to make a joke. We got the joke. I have to run it to the ground.
Okay, what about the He and the Apocalypse Team for the first time versus who is this?
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Oh yeah, that's my mother over there.
Yes, I met. Actually, that's one of the Mayhem matches I actually liked. Mayhem and Apocalypse. That was good. That was actually because that's the time where I think it
That
was
was
him and the Apocalypse
sa
versus the Royal.
terminus yan yung first terminus. Hmm. Wait,
He
technical difficulties. Oh mine. Will be temporarily.
yeah.
Ah, what happened? You sure your internet's kind of like in between this to this?
No, it's because we're on the other side of the world. That's why.
Mm,
And we're using video.
mm.
So, like I said, Mayhem, the character is cool.
Mm-hmm.
The matches, but he had the fans on. He has a way of getting the fans behind him. So there's that. But once him behind him is like okay.
The man behind the main Brannigan character. So
I never met him in person. I only interacted him once after a show. I was like, "Hey, good show. Yeah, good job, buddy." And then he was busy taking pictures with every fans. I think you had a picture with him.
yes,
So you'd understand what
once
I
that was
mean.
on PWR Live, if I'm
He's
not mistaken.
busy
I
being a guy taking pictures with fans.
sayang,
Yeah,
over a year lang yung career niya sa PWR and then biglang mga after Revolution X bago yung
he
season
just
na yun.
left. Yeah,
I don't know what the hell. I mean, okay naman sa pero it was few years later we learned about the man behind the
what he
main
did.
Brannigan
Yeah,
character.
and it's
In the
not
mouth,
cool.
in the words of Sonny Go, he is a malevolent, politicking a-hole. And then William Elvin
Oh my God,
Rodriguez.
Sunny Go! Were you there? Were you there when Sunny Go did the long promo
Of
in
course,
MWF too?
he's a MWF. Yeah, already there. We watch it.
This
Duh.
hold on. So you know the promo that this mic in my hand before me is not a microphone. It is not a pipe bomb, but this is a magic wand that will take us to that thing.
Yeah, remember that.
Oh man,
Memories.
good times. Memories,
Memories. Uh,
memories.
yes.
So, what's your favorite MCS memory? Like, all in all, I know
Wow.
I asked you this in the show of Jobber Talk, available on channel14.com. So yeah,
Oh, lots of it. Really, really tough to comprehend. PWR shows,
same,
I only watch two. But
but there were
PWR Live would be
memorable
my
stuff.
personal favorite because it's my first taste of Philippine Pro Wrestling inside the old MCS arena. And then,
Uh,
MWF shows in their infancy. Yes, Manila Wrestling Federation. Ooh, la 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 la. I love it. I love it. I have a soft spot for the product. We even get to watch it with some of the PWR guys in there showing support and during the time.
yes,
Even though there's a portion that they would see him there in 2017 on very few occasions. Okay, now let's
what
get
are
on with
interesting
the,
times.
you know how to compare with PWR and MWF in a ways very obvious. Although they share something in common when it came down to storylines, but their approach is very different. Given the MW
Very
is more
different. Yeah.
theatrical, if you ask me,
Yes,
which it
that's
would
what.
work,
Yeah.
and I love it. I
Okay.
love the way they represent.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. So for me, I prefer both. There was one point in time in the early days of PWR, I really felt like I'm part of the. But as time winds down, real life gets to you. The enjoyment is still there. I'm just glad that I have you guys, you, Mayor, Sina Pepper, Kayfabe Cafe guys, the Lex guy, your earlier guest Carlito. Yeah, always glad to see him. It's weird because I only met him last year, but I met him at the Alexis Lee fan signing. He was there. He was one of the early birds there. So we were like talking. Oh my God! So you walked here or you went here? And he has a very heavy backpack. and he mentioned about his heart condition, and
Yeah.
I was like, "So you just walked here with your heavy backpack just for the electricity setting?" Yes. I'm like, oh, hey, that's very hardcore, man.
Okay.
Well, it was nice to meet him. It
Hey,
was
have
nice
you
to meet the
ever managed to
fans.
watch PW Homecoming on their stream website like that?
Obviously not because it doesn't work here. I might be region locked,
I
so I can't.
see. That's I haven't watched it yet, to say the least.
But
I
we watched it in person,
Yeah, but the
right?
idea, we already did. I
Right?
got tons of
We
memories
already
of
did,
that,
man. I mean, I got the gold one. I got the meet and greet. That was fun. It was fun to meet Jeff Cobb. Like I was planning to meet him. Well, my I was bugging my brother to meet him at a Bola event that never happened because he wasn't there. I don't
Mm.
know. So when I found out he was coming to Manila, I'm like, oh, screw that. I'll just go here and have to meet him myself because he's gonna face Quattro and Chris Panzer. So yay! So
Hmm.
yeah. How's my signal? Because you're good. You're doing fine in my end.
Oh,
Nothing
okay.
bad.
Okay, okay. One, two, three. Okay, in relate to the show, 101 with the brutal one, which last time we do 9 o'clock on Saturday evenings, but
Okay.
medyo na-late kasi yung pag-edit ko sa last episode. So, yeah, I went to a new time slot at Sunday 9 p.m. and then the part 2 will be on Sunday at 9 p.m. Wait, Sunday morning
9
9
a.m.
a.m. yung part 1 and then the part 2 will be on Sunday evening at 9 p.m. What do you think of my idea? If possible.
For me, I'm still good with the Saturday 9 p.m. thing because
Mm-hmm.
that means when I wake up, I can watch it during lunchtime, which is midnight in your area. So while I'm
Mm.
eating, I can see one on one with the brutal one in my TV screen. I've been posting that. You see it, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not meant to
But
be that
but
easy.
that's me being selfish. But if it's easier for you to upload on a Sunday, then you can upload it on Sunday, right? No
Mm-hmm.
rush.
Mm-hmm.
Because like for me, like if you're talking about time slots, I always upload Jobber Talk before on channel14.com at around Saturday mornings, and that's now the new time slot of Third World Gaming Feature Critical Index. We just had the Naughty Boys on, yesterday because we're filming this July 12th, so we released the episode July 11th on Saturday
I
8
would love to
a.m.
watch this one.
You
Interestingly.
can't watch it because you have to because it's in audio form. You listen to that one.
Achoo. Ouch. But that's okay. I'll do whatever it takes to get there if I have the time, okay? Now,
Okay.
let's get on with the next
Yes.
topic. We talk about
We're not
Philippine
talking.
Wrestling Revolution, right? And we're talking about the Manila Wrestling Federation. Now we talk about the short-lived Art of War Wrestling. I would like
Oh, yeah,
to
I
get on
was
your notes.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tell your
My
story
thoughts
about the show
were.
and
I
everything.
thought it had promise.
Hmm?
You really want me to tell my story?
Yes, if you please.
Okay, it was a Saturday afternoon. Me and John, who were covering it for the site, we went to McKinley area because that's where the club was.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to go to this place called the Grilled Cheesery because I love grilled cheese sandwiches, and it was overpriced. So yeah, that was a disappointment. We went there hours early before the event because we were there to get the media passes. We were there very early. We were there with Jag and Ant. Did Jag tell you his story?
Not
Not
yet, not
much.
yet. Maybe one day we're
Okay,
gonna be his guest again. Probably on season 2, if
because
we're gonna
yeah,
have
we
season
were
2.
there. We were there. We entered the arena area. We entered while they were setting up the ring. That was
Valkyrie,
4 o'clock or
nako
3 o'clock.
there we will
Uh-huh.
learn the story later from Chili Willy, what really happened.
You
And what,
already heard his story in the Wrestling SGP podcast
yes, yes,
episode, and
tama
if
ka
you
nga, tama ka
remembered,
nga.
man, sinabon yung mga hosts. Sorry, sinabon kayo. Listen to that again. I think you need to re-listen to that episode. Right? It was so
Hey,
fun.
hey, hey, Okay, hold it. Signal problem.
Oh yeah,
Are you?
my story.
Okay, go.
Yeah, you should re-listen to the that podcast episode with Chili Willy when he talked about All Out War Wrestling.
Hmm.
Because
Art of War.
yeah, Art of War Wrestling. He was no holds barred on that. Like he was also talking about the legit term because he knew the hosts were part of PWR and they had an issue with the legit hashtag, and he did defend that. So you got to really listen to that. It's a very interesting episode.
I learned a lot from that
Um,
episode about pro wrestling business and the like. Big time. I learned a lot from him.
so if you listen correctly, he has beef with who?
Can't say the man behind the
It's
classical
not
brand of
Brian
Leo.
Leo. It's the other guy. It's the
Brian
guy who
Finnegan.
was. Yeah, it's the other Brian. He was
Brian Finnegan.
actually. Yeah, he was actually putting over Yusuf there in that episode.
And the machine
Um,
too.
and the machine, of course.
I think those two were
So I
on good
was there in
terms,
the
but the
venue.
problem is
Yeah.
his problem is Brian Finnegan himself. Uh,
Yes,
mhm.
that was the problem, Bradley. But for me, I don't have any bad experiences with this Brian guy. But that doesn't mean he did screw them over. He didn't screw them over in that event and events after that. Because where's AOWW now? It's gone. Half of them are now in the MWF roster.
And then
Half
the
of them
other
are
who is
now in
W U W
UW.
P N H. Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta do what they do in the video. You know how they call it, right? How they say it, right?
legit.
World
Underground
Underground
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Boom. Damn, I love that shit. So yeah, back to the story. They were setting up the ring. It took an hour, and they had to move it again. It felt bad because I thought it was
Well
people who were
prepared. I
doing
don't know
the.
what the fuck's going on, really.
Dude, it was Chili and the roster who was doing it. I thought there was a ring crew. It was everyone. It was really the wrestlers and the crew members who were doing that.
Hmm.
I liked the sense of buying in, but at the same time, I felt bad because, yeah, I think it's the first time. And then when you go to the show, I was at the side where the MWF roster was watching. So we were on the side that wasn't showed by the front of the audience. So, like, example, you were watching at the very front. So you'd see the wrestling ring. It has a apron. But on the side where we were, there were no aprons. We saw the wooden metallic structure inside that wrestling ring. So every time they take a bump, I see what's going on underneath, and there was no springs. It
Hey,
was
remember,
like
yung
a
mga ring post
wood.
nila sa ilalim,
Yeah,
from what I heard, walang protection pad. Kaya
wooden
yung
protection. So every time we see someone bump, like I was there with the MWF guys, I was there with Jag and Ant, who were going to the ringside. When you saw Machine like choke slam or slam that dude, it's like,
Cherry,
oh,
yes.
yeah, like, oh my god. I didn't want to look because you can see the metal and the wood. Like, god damn. Props to them for doing the show, but at the same time, I was scared for my life, for their health and well-being,
Yeah.
because I
After the
saw what's
show,
inside that
yeah,
ring.
the rest of the match was good,
Ah.
as many would say. But still in the beginning, and then yeah, the main event. Kaagad na yung championship without building,
The belt was interesting.
I love the
I
design of
didn't
the
see
belt.
it up close. Yeah, I like the design of the belt. It was a bit too thin, but the design was nice. It sucks because yeah, they had a good belt. They already had a match, Classical Brian Leo first versus the Nuke, who
Yeah.
we'd see in the Gus Global event as well as an MWF show. The Nuke, if you remember him
Apologies
facing
for the
Robin
background,
Stain.
children, but it's raining here right now. You heard it?
He's raining men.
It's raining dogs and
Hallelujah.
cats. It's raining gelotes whatsoever for all I
Okay.
care. Huh.
But so yeah, AOWW, I thought there was promise, but bad management and egos obviously took it down. It's
Yes.
unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
On the machine
and
and Tasca Brian Leo's part, I believe, because I think both of them were quite bitter with PWR. Brian Leo in particular, because you know what happened in 2016, right?
Going from this rate at this rate, are you gonna talk about Alex Cuevas again for the end time in your show? Let's skip that.
Huh? You want to get
I,
there,
no, no, I don't want to get there. That's why. Let's just skip that. It's been from episode 2 onwards. Let's give your audience a break. Just
but
saying in
but
advance.
but
Anyway,
here,
so
there's a
let's
person
go
we're gonna
back to
go go go.
yeah. Let's go back to that promotion. I felt bad when it closed down, and but at the same time, I'm happy that WoW happened. WoW Philippines, the current third promotion in the Philippines,
Mm.
which has ties to other WoW promotions, like one in Americas, one in Europe, one in Japan,
And Australia,
and
I heard from
in
it.
Australia. Yeah, so it's kind of nice, and I kind of felt happy that they show it on YouTube. So when I missed it, I didn't feel so bad because I got to watch it, right?
They returned their videos after I was shocked that their videos disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
I
it disappeared.
Yeah, bigla
Well,
na wala and then bigla bumalik. I
basta,
have I would love to
yeah,
watch
napanood
the
natin.
War of the wait, I see War of the Goliaths,
War
yeah.
of the Goliaths, yeah. I
I would love to
haven't
watch it
watched that
again.
actually. I want to watch that first. The Super Beast versus the Machine. I haven't seen that. I think the one we saw were the Frankie 13 match versus Ken Cypher.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that in your
Ken
house
Cypher will become part of the MWF. No
as well.
questions.
Yeah, so that's cool, right? Like I said, Ken Cypher was part of AOWW. He was in a tag team with another mask guy. So I'm
Mm.
glad to see him again. I'm glad to see who's that guy? Nuke in MWF.
And
Also glad
then
to see the, that mask guy Zera. He fought with Rex Lawin, right?
mm-hmm,
In Whoa. Yeah, I thought we'd never get to see him again, and lo and behold, he's back. So yay, right?
mm-hmm.
Those were the guys I was looking forward to seeing again, and I'm glad they're back
They were given a
because
second chance. Hopefully they don't screw up because they deserve it. They love this dream. What I love
yeah,
about WUWPH is their mixture of professional wrestling and MMA, and that was cool. I have a very
yes,
soft spot for that. Shout out to World Underground Wrestling Philippine chapter. One day I'm gonna have one of the guests in there, and I need is the machine himself because
dude, it's easy. Just PM him. I'm pretty sure he's down with for that, man.
mm,
Maverick's good.
I had to check
Um,
the perfect schedule for it. Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
That said, I'm not even an MMA fan, but it made me like the MMA pro wrestling mix they do, and I appreciate the gritty and darky videos they have. I mean, it adds to the. I wasn't there live, but it adds to the ambiance when you're watching it. It feels like Fight Club, and you can talk
Mm-hmm.
about Fight Club.
All right.
So yeah. So right now, I miss local wrestling because the week I left was the week before the final PWR show, which
Yes.
had Robbie Eagles versus Chris Panzer.
Yes. Love at
Did you
first
watch that
sight.
live?
PWR. Love at first fight. That's
Did
your
you see
last,
that
right?
live?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. I didn't get to see that live. I was already here. The last PWR show I watched was Wrestle for Taal.
Yeah. I see. So what do you think of the show? PWR Wrestle for Taal.
It was fun. I like, dude, when you have the Naughty Boys versus the Network in a six-man tag match, that was so cool.
I wish I could watch that, but because of the
Uh,
situation, the early stages of situation about COVID-19 baka halata na hindi kami papayagan. Plus, di ba Wednesday yun? Kaya,
yeah, it was a
ano,
weekday.
number coding yung sasakyan kaya hindi kami makapunta ni
Oh,
Mrs. They
yeah,
understand naman.
I understand.
Okay naman.
It was on
Okay.
Full Match Fridays naman. So you can see it on their YouTube or on their Facebook page.
Yeah, yes, yes,
Anytime
yes.
you want.
YouTube, yes. Now, I need to know, is it okay you tell your story about how you got to migrate to Brazil in first place? Not all
I
the
can't. I can
that's
just say it's, I agreed to the
confidential.
job. Yeah, that's it.
Because it's government related.
I can't even say if it's government related or not.
I
Just say it's my
understand.
job.
I understand. We leave it behind. I personally respect that, old friend of mine. Now,
The only thing you need to know is I'll be here for at least 5 to 6 years. That's it. And I can come
mm,
back maybe when COVID is gone. So maybe that's in 2 years or 3 years. I don't know.
yeah,
Hopefully, if I survive the COVID pandemic here. Because, like in
nothing.
part one,
Look,
we're number two. We're
look,
1,800,000 plus right now.
look. On my part,
Yes.
nothing bad must happen to you because you deserve it. You're one of my great friends within
Oh,
the
thank you. Thank
Philippine
you.
wrestling community. I don't want anything bad happen to you regarding on the job that you're taking. So you have to take precautionary measures to ensure you stay safe and absolutely healthy. Me, medyo
Yes.
pina pinapatapa ako ni Sise dahil sa mga masasarap na pagkain. You see,
That's good. That's
lalo pang
good.
lumalakas ang
I
katawan
have to
ko
ask,
ngayon.
what's
Terming busog.
so anong niluluto niya usually pag breakfast? Like, anong favorite breakfast mo and does she cook it well?
No. Pag sa breakfast may kanya-kanya kami. Nakahanda na yung sa akin
Okay.
mga mostly pastries related and coffee. Way back then, nakain na ako ng chocolate milk
So your
whatsoever.
wife cooks you dinner or lunch
Lunch
usually?
mostly and at times
So what's your
dinner.
favorite lunch?
Homemade sushi, baby!
Yeah!
Yeah! Pero
Yeah!
iba yun
Yeah!
iba yung sushi hindi yung bilog may mga
Yung
balls like that.
yung may molds, yung parang ano,
Seaweed,
yung parang
seaweed.
may kanin at saka yung salmon sa ano, sa
Okay,
ibabaw.
may
Ayun.
naka kanin, sandwich with seaweed
Kanin,
and
sandwich with seaweed and
tuna at yung luncheon meat
tuna.
naka-wrap ng seafood
Uy!
ganun.
So parang spam and tuna musubi. Yeah, whatever, right? Yes, yes, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Masarap talagang magluto si Mrs. Tama ang decision ko. Napakasalan siya. Wala
Yes.
akong pinagsisi kahit may may pagkaiba kami sa prinsipyo pagdating sa politics regarding kasi well, Mrs. ko a part of it na pro-China
We don't
siya.
have to say it in this episode. Remember my cybercrime law at my anti-terror law, Mayor. I don't want a new mayor in Youngstown. Okay. Okay. Yun lang masasabi ko. Yun lang masasabi ko dyan. We don't have to, we don't have to be filed a cyber libel
Probation.
case.
Fuck you, probation.
Yeah, basically baka ma-probation ka din ni Mrs.
Probation
Okay,
at
so
rolling pin sa ulo at sa puwet. Che.
but sorry, Mayor, I think my time is up, so I really have to thank you for part two and part one of this episode. I'm so glad to have met you guys in the Philippine wrestling scene as well, like fellow fans, as well as the wrestlers we've met along the way, sila Trian, sila Ero, and
Yeah.
also, of course, other media guys like sila Ant, Jag, sa Kayfabe Cafe, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
before I leave, I'd like to say thank you to the mayor. Thank you to those watching here on the YouTube channel. Please always do not forget that the number one show here on this day and age, it's not balibagan. It's one-on-one with the brutal one.
Ako pa yung numero
Orlando
uno.
Alejandro Zamora. And thanks for having me. You can always check me out at channel14.com. And that's it.
Maraming salamat
See
sa
you.
iyo, tunay kong kaibigan. Mag-ingat ka as much as possible.
Stay
Don't
safe.
worry. Once it's get done, and then we're gonna have fun again. Maybe I might get
Yes.
you for season 2 one day. Right now,
All right, all right.
cheers and rock and roll, and stay safe,
Too
my good
sweet,
friend
too
of mine.
sweet, too sweet.
Too
Too sweet.
sweet! Oh,
Woo!
Kangaroo! Kangaroo, bakit? May message ka ba? Yeah. Yes.
Okay. See you, man.
Bye. Love you, Papa
Bye.
Bear. Ano yun na, Papa Bear?
Yes.
Bald boy. I wanna
Bald
have a
boy,
boy.
bald boy.
Bald boy. Okay. Know how much I just like. You know how much I miss Martin. Even you. Yeah, we do miss Martin, but hopefully maybe several years we could meet it again. No one knows, but maybe we can do Facebook chat on special occasions. Would you agree with me? But anyway, it was a quite interesting, fun episode, and yeah, this is the brutal more Orlando Alejandro Zamora and Muffy the Mar would say, get back to sleep.
Comfortable na yung ano mo. Diba? Magagalit ka ba nun?
Obvious ba?
Ba't
Anong
hindi
klaseng
ka
tanong yan? Hoy, kangaroo, tingnan mo to. Nagtatanong kahit ano nung, gusto mo upakan mo yan? Give him to me, I wanna find him, I wanna beat him up. You wait your
Yan.
turn.
Okay, next question. Ano ang favorite brand mo ng underwear?
Wala akong pakialam kung anong favorite kong brand, basta komportable, masaya na ako.
Sunjoy. Pili ko Sunjoy. Mukha kang Sunjoy guy. Yung bikini brief na Sunjoy.
Pero alam ko wala na yung, ano, let me see, YC Bikini Briefs, that's for one. And then, ewan ko kung may Brute pa, Brute na brand ng mga underwears, Brute so
Kaya ka ba brutal one? Kasi yung brief mo brute. Oh
Brute.
my God.
Brutot.
Oh,
Brutot.
kaya pala.
Alam mo,
The brutal one. Kasi yung brief brute.
isa pa pagdating kay Vlad Sinsik, I have a perfect name for him. Brutot. Brutot. Brutot.
Hindi naman nagtataking si Vlad eh.
Alam ko, pero mukha siyang brutot. Napaka-brute niya pag umutot, kaya brutot.
Hindi, balik tayo sa takin. So, ano yung pinakamasarap takinan? Yung brute o yung YC na brief?
None of the above. Napaka-imposible. Masyado silang namimili. Kapag ayaw nila, ayaw. Whatsoever. Pero nasa may suot yan. Yung susuot ng brand name whatsoever.
I'm so pissed off. I want to put my face on everyone for all I care. I would pulverize everybody, whoever I choose. From that damn marmot, from that stupid supreme commander who thinks he's the mayor. For his bloody big dumpling, his wife. I cannot control my anger anymore. I want fight. I want pulverize everyone. Oh, some stupid probation. No probation is gonna prevent me from doing what I'm gonna do. Oh, this!